Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal, and tomorrow we finally get access to new seasonal content for the patch 10.2, which includes a brand new raid tier of Emotes, a new set of Mythic Plus dungeons from Waycrest Manor, Blackrook Hold, Dawn of the Infinite, and even Throne of the Tides, as well as a new season of PvP, together with new rewards to collect, new mounts to obtain, and brand new tier sets to earn. In preparation to the new seasonal content, last-minute class changes are going to be going live during this week's regional reset, where we see a number of class changes as well as some tier set adjustments, where we see reductions to some of the classes that were found to be a little bit overperforming over on the PTR, as well as buffs to certain playstyles that have been feeling a little bit underwhelming. So in today's video, I wanted to go over some of the last minute class changes and tier set changes arriving before the Season 3 officially launches, to make sure that every one of you is up to date before you dive into the end game content. But right before we get into this update video, most of you guys watching these are still not subscribed. However, the more of you remind, the more of you do, so let's keep it going. Subscribe to the channel and ring the bell if you're watching these videos anyway, especially if you want to get more regular content regarding Dragonflight 10.2 or any of the future updates going forward. Starting off, we see even more buffs coming to the spec of the Unholy Death Knight this week, where we see a majority of their sustained damage output receive a nice new bonus. Everything from their Death Coil, Scourge Strike, Glowing Shadows, and even the Virulent Plague has seen a bit of a damage increase, with their main ghoul as well as their undeads summoned by the Apocalypse also improving a little, which results in a slight damage increase, specifically when it comes to single target encounters like within the new raid of Emotes. And when it comes to Demon Hunters, we do see a few new nerfs arrive to the spec of Vengeance, which has become one of the stronger tanking specs, specifically when it comes to Mythic Plus environments during the later PTR testing. Vengeance Demon Hunter tier set does receive a slight reduction when it comes to the bonus Sigil of Flame damage, but also the talent of Eliminated Sigils, which increases your parry chances against sigiled targets, has been reduced to 15% down from the original 20% value. However, I still expect Vengeance to be quite a popular tank spec going forward into the Season 3, as it should retain some of the best AoE damage available, together with fantastic unparalleled control thanks to the double Sigil talents, allowing him to get so much extra mileage out of Sigil of Silence, Misery, as well as Chains, which might keep him ahead of the others heading into the new seasonal content. Next, we have a few changes coming to the class of Druid, with some rage adjustments towards the Guardian Druid spec, primarily for their ability of Mangle. But besides this, weaving into a cat feral form has become a little bit more lucrative for specs like Guardian, Bounce, and Restoration Druid, which could allow for some Heart of the Wild weaving going forward. Restoration in particular has seen a drastic increase towards their cat form abilities, with the damage of Rip, Rake, Shred, and even Bite increased by as much as 200% in this most recent set of class tunings, which should hopefully make cat weaving a bit more rewarding, or at least maybe a little bit more on par to the owl weaving playstyle, at least as a restoration druid going forward. Augmentation evokers have been hit with yet another nerf as of this most recent regional reset, with their main mechanic of Ebb and Might further reduced in the amount of primary stats that you could provide to nearby allies. Close as clutch mates allows augmentation group buffs to scale better with smaller group sizes like dungeons and arenas. For that passive effect, both Ebb and Might and Breath of Aeon's small group damage sees even more reductions to help bring augmentation in line to every other playstyle. Finally, the amount of versatility granted by their Shifting Sands Mastery buff has also been further reduced by 15%. With all that being said, it is still very likely that augmentation will still retain its popularity, but they've definitely taken a few strides and made a handful of changes to try to keep the augmentation spec less of a mandatory pick for Mythic Plus dungeons going forward, which is probably a change in the right direction, since augmentation doesn't only provide you offensive damage increases but also defensive ones, and those are much harder to evaluate against pure damage buffs when it comes to group-oriented gameplay. Frost Mages are getting new adjustments towards the newest tier set bonus, with the two set further increasing the damage of Glacial Spikes by 16% instead of 10%. but the 2 set has the Glacial Spike explosion damage deal 15% of its damage to nearby targets rather than its original 20% value. This allows Glacial Spike to be a little bit more effective within single target, while also kind of limiting some of the impact that the single target buff would have within AoE content. And we also see even more tier set adjustments for the class of Monk. The Brewmaster tier set has also been increased, with its 2 set bonus amplifying the damage of Breath of Fire by 40% up from 20%, with a 4 set bonus damage increased to 15% up from 10%. And the Windwalker tier set has also been improved, with a Blackout reinforcement buff occurring 66% more often and increase in Blackout Kick's damage by 200% up from the original 150%. And then we have a class of Rogue where it looks like the Assassination Rogue's tier set is getting a slight improvement. However, this isn't exactly the case. The tier set has been able to do a little bit more damage than what the PTR tooltip suggests. This is more of a tooltip adjustment rather than a direct buff to the Rogue's tier set, which is where some of the confusion comes from. Disciplined Priests continue to trail ahead of other healers, at least when it comes to their raid performance. This week, certain talents are being adjusted to allow for better build variety, while also rating them back in with all the other healers. The talent of Divine Age's absorption effect has been reduced to 5% of healing done, down from 10%, while Inescapable Torment damage has also been reduced down by roughly 19%. Though even with all of these changes, I believe the Disciplined Priests will still be able to shine quite well within Season 3, whether we're talking about their performance within the raids or Mythic Plus dungeons. Both Demonology as well as Destruction Warlocks are seeing significant increases in this week's weekly reset, with the Destro portals gaining additional damage tuning. Both the Unstable Tear and the Shadowy Tear portals see their output buffed by 5%, while the Chaos Tear, which launches a Dimensional Chaos Bolt, gains 30% additional damage. And the Flame Rifts conjured by the newest tier set bonus also receive additional tuning, increasing their output by 50%, which makes them a lot more potent. And finally, Demonology's newest tier set has also seen additional increases, with the Doom Brand single target damage further improved by 50%, while the Doom Fiend single target damage has been increased by 40%, which overall together amounts to quite an increase. And that's going to be the full list of class changes arriving this week before the patch 10.2 Season 3 content officially goes live. I want to thank all of you guys so much for watching this video and I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. As per usual, if you guys enjoyed this video or found it informative, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate it. And as always, in the description of every single video and live stream, we have a link to our Discord community channel. Probably the best place to reach out to me directly in case you want to let me know what you thought about this video or hang out with the rest of the community to discuss some of the upcoming changes. Join our Discord to become part of the community. But otherwise, thank you all so much for watching this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know all of your thoughts down below. And as always, I'll see all of you guys in another video.